Okay, now in the email that I sent out about this Hangout, I shared with you that my experience of creating a good income and an ongoing income as an online service provider really came about initially from realizing that there's this middle ground. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about what I mean by that. So I shared in that email that before I heard about virtual assistants or this being a generalist, an all-rounder, a support person, my idea in my mind of what was available to do as work online was more of the specialized technical and creative services, things like copywriting, where someone, that is their skill, right? Copywriting, graphic design, web development. And I'll tell you why those things were in my mind. I had been looking into internet marketing through on-the-ground conferences in my home country of Australia. And people were teaching a particular strategy about creating ebooks and having a sales page. Now, this was quite a while ago. I think, I don't know, it was a few years before I started working online in 2011. But I had started looking into this process of creating an ebook. And in that process, you were instructed to through this training that I took, you're instructed to contract a web developer because the sites weren't always going up. I don't even know if WordPress was as accessible as it is now, but definitely no one ever mentioned that to me back then. It was kind of like, okay, you send it off to the web developer, they code up a fresh HTML page and they upload it. Then you delegate what you want to a graphic designer. Say if you want a header banner on your page, okay, you got to speak to a graphic designer separately. They'll create a graphic, then you receive it, you send it to the web developer. Or if you need copy for a sales page, you instruct a copywriter on what it is you're trying to talk about, and then they write it out with their talent. So in my mind, I had this familiarity with this online marketing world. I hadn't stepped into it yet, but I had this reference that, okay, these people that are working online, they're very skilled up. Now, for me, it's like, okay, copywriting. It's an amazing skill that I have so much appreciation for. It's not my personal strength. And when I see it, it's kind of like looking at an amazing singer. It's kind of like you appreciate the talent, but you're kind of like, well, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt. It's different. I have a kind of different perspective on it now because I just see it as copywriters are the people you collaborate with. But I'm thinking about my perspective of it way back then before I stepped into virtual assistants and working online. Okay. That's not something I could do, but that's amazing that they have this talent that they can work flexibly from home. Or web development. Oh, okay. So in this process of trying to kind of get an ebook set up, I collaborated with this one specific web developer where I was asking him to do things. And I went and checked out, he had this blog that he'd set up. And I saw that he was living or traveling with his family to some tropical country. I don't know which one it was, but it was something that made an impact on me. And I remember showing Dan and going, this guy, he's like a coder, and him and his family, and they have little babies like we do, and they're off overseas in this tropical place. It was so like out there for me. It was like, that's incredible. And I was thinking, I wonder if Dan could switch from construction to coding, learning code. That would be pretty funny, right? Dan does work online now, but not in coding specifically. But all these things where I was kind of like, okay, I didn't put myself in the picture, so to speak. But then something changed when I met someone who was helping the people that were teaching this ebook strategy. And I met them and I had a chat with them. They were a mum like me, their child was older. They were working from home. They were doing things like customer support, updating products on their page, like switching out images or whatever. And I'm just like, I didn't know that it was called virtual assistants, but I was kind of like, I could actually do that. That's something I could actually do when I was speaking to this woman. It was kind of like, it was administration, but it was using all these systems online and getting to know that client's business. And that kind of piqued my attention. Then I heard about someone helping an eBay store owner and again, working from home, switching out the eBay listings. Now, this is before I got started. Now, the development over the past, even say 12 months, but definitely the 6 years that I've been working online, has gotten to this stage, the evolution of online services and the online infrastructure and online commerce and things being sold it's now nowhere near this elusive thing where it's just like, oh, one person could get a role helping that millionaire blogger, or one person could get a role helping that eBay store owner. It's now, for me, from my perspective, we're like the tradespeople of the internet. It's like, are you a hairdresser? Are you a builder? Are you an electrician? Are you a carpenter? Okay, this is all the different services that are being provided to build out and maintain the online infrastructure, websites, e-commerce stores, blog content, vlogs on YouTube, podcasts, all these things. The content is being created by people who have a passion or brands that want to get their message out there. But all the little detailed, what I would refer to as advanced administration or online marketing implementation, that is being performed by online service providers like you and I. And sometimes that's referred to as virtual assistants. Sometimes it's referred to as freelancing in something specific, a freelance blog manager, a freelance social media manager, a freelance virtual assistant. And sometimes, quite often, what I found is that you're just referred to by your name. Danielle, who does X, Y, and Z for us. Danielle, who does the email marketing and the Facebook ads.